This is Robert with Deep Thought Cycle Blog, and we're going on the same bridge we lost a dog. I don't know if he came off before or after the bridge during rush hour on a Friday. Woo! Isn't this gonna be fun? I don't got time to go on the bigger ride. Tomorrow is somewhat of a day off for me. The summer camp takes a break for a day. We're gonna talk about that. Talk about all that stuff. Riding on the 103 or the 203 millimeter XTR rotor. Woo. It's the first time I like to stop it a lot just to test it. All right. I mean, I have had a 203 millimeter on my for all this bike's life, just about. Well, I mean, if you're a long-time watcher, you saw that I upgraded it on the other wheel set a while ago. Well, I got a rattle on my clean canteen imitation. It's gonna drive me crazy. Tie that up a little bit. Somewhat a bad thing about the Salsa Anywhere racks, they don't really ratchet really tight, right? So anyways, a little bit noisy, right? I mean, you could tighten it down there and tighten a knot, but it'd be better if it was like a ratchet system where they lock tight, you know? Anyways, lots going on. Full battery this time, so we could talk about what's going on exactly. The other day, sorry about the camera problems. Welcome to this channel. If you've never seen me have videos cut short before, right? That's how I roll, right? So it's getting to be, I was just talking to me. It's getting to be towards that time. This camp finishes on the 30th. And you know, I'm teaching my student Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The new camp will start on the 12th or something of August. I'm pretty scared that I'm not going to make my deadline. I want to leave by September 15th. I don't have a job lined up for the new term like I normally do, because I plan on going back to America. So I'm in the precariously dangerous position of not having a job in the new term. And I have some job offers, ironically. English First is a pretty big name brands chain school. I've worked many years ago for him a couple times. They offered me a position in another city to be the so-called director of studies, which means a lot more work for less money, I guess, right? I can't do that, and I said no, but if I enter into a contract with the job and I leave early in September, October, I could get fined or not get paid or both. So I have to be honest to say, hey, you know, I might be leaving, and that limits my job opportunities to part-time positions, which also want to pay the 15th. So that means you work 15 more days after the last month, and if you quit and they don't like it, you won't get the 15 days you just worked for. That's why they do that in China, because a lot of foreign teachers quit. And I never have quit before. I never quit before. What's this guy doing? Teaching. I never broke a contract. I'm just in my okay, Google. It's the fastest way to unlock your phone. Just in my headset volume, sorry. So we're gonna have no sun. I want to get some sun, man. So I'm in danger of starting a contract and having them keep half a month to pay if I don't leave on the 15th. I wish I had the money to leave on the before the 15th, actually. I mean, I know I got a couple extra days. I gotta get to the airport, help my wife get to your brother's, but you guys got a crawling leaf roach on his shirt, huh? Crazy. I just don't have the time. You know, I don't want to stay. I like to leave as soon as I can after the camp is done, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough money. Pretty stressful. I got to try to teach as much as I can, but everybody's hiring for the new term. Not a lot of tutor jobs in the summer. Everybody's on a holiday in China. It's, the whole country takes a break in the summertime, you know, so. And I have spent a lot of money, man. This yellow fish program's changed my life in China. Being able to shop and buy things much cheaper than I ever was able to in China before. Getting some bike shorts finally, woo! Not just using the ones from Artie. Here's a Tesla. Should have a green license plates, huh? I'm getting some Endura bike shorts. Some of the FS 250s. I got them for only 200 yen. Might get another pair for 160. Then I'll have 3 or 4 pairs. That's enough. I don't know, maybe I won't. 3 pairs is enough. That's better than washing your bike shorts every day, right? And you gotta keep your bike clothes clean. You wear them dirty and sweaty, that's when your skin gets rashes, man, because the salt in your sweat destroys your skin. That's why when you're going to a job, I learned the hard way. You know, my ass doesn't get sore from my seat, but it gets rashes from the seat, or red spot. I mean, And the thing is, if you go to a job and you're working like 12 or 14 hours a day, and you're riding to work and you're riding back, and you keep on your sweaty clothes all day, that sweat in your clothes and your shorts, it destroys your skin. And that's what really creates a rash, not your seat. So you got to be able to change your clothes when you're working. Good idea to bring wet wipes. Clean yourself off in your crotch area after you sweat to get the salt off. Put on some dry clothes. Change out of your bike gear. I used to just like put my shorts on top of my bike, put some other clothes on top of my bike shorts and not change them. And man, that's a mistake. I learned that you got to change into dry clothes, sweat free. It's not an issue about smelling. I don't think you stink. I don't think so. When you ride regularly, your body's just got a lot of water, and after you sweat out all the poisons in your fat and you lose a lot of your fat, you don't smell like when you first start working out. However, the salt in your skin destroys your the salt in your sweat destroys your skin, right? You get rashes, right? So and I bought shorts that I wore for like 10 years, right? And I have a lot of fake Chinese shorts, and the lycra's fake, it's all stressed out. The pads all fake, it's all stressed out. And I can't even wear them anymore. And I know in America, these shorts cost $200 or something a pair, $100. That's insane, man. So I try not to overdo it, but I got a couple pairs of shorts, and if I wasn't going back to America, man, I mean, why didn't I find this yellow fish program earlier in China? Oh my God, I would have saved so much money. I got the boys and their walkie-talkies that I was talking about, just because Apollo and Solaris are always fine over it. And Apollo and Solaris are autistic with speech development problems. They can't talk, and I see that it's a great help for them to try to talk on the walkie-talkies. And what I do is I put the earpieces in their ear, and when I'm out in a team, I could communicate with the whole team with the push of a button. I didn't know Carhartt became so popular in the West. I thought it was just work clothes, but apparently it's popular with the teenagers or whatever. And they got these Carhartt shoulder bags, and because it's popular, some things are fake here. Carhartt, the popular stuff is the most fake stuff. And I got some of the, I got 4 shoulder bags for like $20 US. Now, I'm sure in the US they cost like $50, $60 a bag. For them to put the walkie-talkie in, and they put their earpiece in. And yesterday we went out and I had to go to the hospital to get my wife her medicine, and I went with the whole team except for Huang. I went with Huang, but she didn't have her. I didn't have to buy a walkie-talkie for Huang because they're too damn much. Oh, the boys love it. And it's so much easier when you got autistic kids, and from a parenting standpoint, to be able to yell, bark commands at your children without screaming, and being able to hear them talk to you like they never talked before, making attempts because they're autism. It's fantastic. I would recommend it for anybody that's got autistic kids. I had a problem with the stock earpiece, so I looked in the user book, and they have a pneumatic earpiece like what the president uses, his bodyguards and shit, right? And that cost $100 US $100 in the accessory book, right? So I looked on Taobao to try to find the equivalent, and because it's cable connector is different than other walkie-talkies, there's a limited number. I found one for 13 yen, which is less than $2. Less than $2. I bought 4 of them for the boys, so it fits in the ear better. Non-conspicuous, man. But it costs money though, unfortunately. But it's worth, oh, 2 Model X's, huh? And a Porsche and a Bentley. Yeah, China's not hurting. The rich are not hurting, at least, right? Damn it. So anyways, I think it's fantastic. I wish, like my wife said, I wish we could have got them a long time ago. The rotor feels so good. The guy contacted me and he said he'll give me his other one for about $30 US. Not even that, $25, I think. And I said, man, that's too good to pass up. I can put it on the rear, carrying all that stuff. So I bought the other 203 to put on the back. Carrying all those kids in the trailer, it's good. I don't mind having more stopping power. Every day I'm carrying stuff in my bags. Let them make my brakes go forever. I heard that the only reason why Shirley said 160 is a max is because they didn't want to go through the trouble of making different size adapters for market. Somebody, I read that in a forum post, but I heard other people put 203s back there, no problem. Cool, might as well, what the hell. I will never be able to buy an XTR rotor in America. Or clothes. So, Bobby was wearing Closign shoes. And in China, you saw some of my videos, I think maybe, where we fix shoes on the street. Yeah, you fix them, like those Tiva style shoes and stuff. But even his brother's shoes broke. So I need to get him new shoes. I got shoes for 115 yen. Well, I need shoes. I hope they're durable. I tried to give him one size bigger. I hope he could give them to his brother. Bobby's got big, wide feet, man. Wider than me, I don't know why. It's crazy, man. He already's at 8.5 already. His brother's got big feet, Closign. I don't know why everybody's got flat feet, man, but... So I went out last night, I bought medicine, and I bought food. Family needs to eat, right? It's like every time I spend money, I'm like, oh man, that's money for America, you know, and it's tough to make money to live and to go at the same time. It's really tough. So I got to lay out all the children's clothes and strategize which winter clothes to buy, which clothes to carry, because I don't think I'll be able to buy any clothes that cost America $100, cost in China about less than $10, $8 maybe, right? So, you know, I got to get my kids clothes before they go. I mean, it's more than $6 Chinese, you know, but it's much less than America. So I've got to try to do that. to get their clothes ready for them. You know, and oh, a Brabus Mercedes and a BMW M2. Yeah. So I got to get them the right clothes. That's the next challenge before I leave. And that Mercedes thing over there, man. Rich people out today, huh? So how am I gonna do that, man? Well, I've got to lay out all their clothes, maybe tomorrow, and strategize. And I was trying to go to REI to see what brands of clothes was popular for kids at REI, so I could try to find them cheap here in China. North Face, Columbia, Patagonia. A lot of this is real fake in China. Some of them from the same factory that make the real product. So I cross-referenced it and I checked it out. Gotta make sure every kid's got a couple good pairs of long underwear to be ready for the winter. I never used heat in our house, just dressed warmly. So I guess in America, the houses have got more insulation in them. I'll make sure the kids are all warm though. And one of the, you know, I look for Marmot, Spake, and okay, I got my wife sending me messages. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. I paid the bill, honey. I'm on the way home. Should be fine. All right. Paid the internet bill today. My wife says the internet can hardly be used. I'll have to check it out. I checked on the Marmot, and I bought myself a lot of these lightweight t-shirts with like this cool max kind of material, man. And like 5 of them for about 100 yen. No, maybe about 150 yen, which is like $20, $30 for 5 shirts. I'll wear those for years, man. So I got to try to get my kids that kind of gear. And I was looking, I was having a hard time. In China, they got this new, you know, decathlon is real popular in China now. Heck, I've been taking my kids there because it was affordable and quality. So even though it was affordable, it always cost like money, you know. And I found the yellow fish has got all decathlon shit, man. everybody sells to China their children's stuff secondhand, man. It's like much cheaper, and they got tons. I mean, I set my search limit for 200 yen, and I sort it from the cheapest first. Man, I will never ever go to Decathlon again. It's the yellowfish program for me. I can't believe they got this great program right before I leave China. How ironic. So I will try to get my kids all the proper clothes that I can carry. I just, you know, I had a flat in my other tire, my rear tire. I didn't ride yesterday because I went to go pump up my flat, and actually I didn't ride yesterday because I didn't get enough sleep. The day before I didn't ride because I went to pump up my flat, and my floor pump broke. And I tried to use my lysine pump, and it wasn't working either, man. 2 pumps are broken. Made me so angry. I don't know why that tire, it was like a slow flat. I think it was the stem, right? I think it was the stem that broke. And I used my last spare, which had a slow leak in it. I think also a loose stem. So I'm trying to buy a tool to tighten the stems. The valve core, I mean. And I put some Loctite inside the new nozzle head on my Closign pump. And I think that fixed it, man. I pumped for like hours, man, and my hand is sore from it digging into my palm bone, the palm of my hand, trying to pump it up to 6 bar. Pain in the ass, man. But after I Loctited the hose connections, I think that stopped the leak with the Closign. Well, you know what? I've had some problems with Closign's pumps before a little bit. The old chuck used to bend the valve cores, which is why the last tire I had, or why this tire has a slow leak, because the valve core was getting bent by the old chuck on the pump. So I bought this new chuck, and I put it on there. Apparently had a slow leak, Loctited it, but I had to go to work. I mean, this was like a couple-hour project, pumping up a goddamn tire and messing with the pump. So I looked online, yellowfish program. I thought I need a backup pump, man. And I've got Closign for years. It's strong, durable, but it's a pain in the ass. I thought I'd try to give another pump a chance. So I looked for this Toe Peak Morph TDG with a gauge on it. And there was somebody that had one used on the Yellowfish program for about 160 yen. And I thought, well, thank God this wasn't a job going to Tesla, man. My floor pump and my hand pump broken in the same goddamn day, and my brand new tires, having a flat tire, and I haven't had a flat tire on my other side for 15,000 kilometers. But it wasn't like a flat, it was like a slow leak stem thing. I don't think it's a puncture flat, you know. So I bought this other pump. Gotta have a backup. I hate to spend the money, but man, look at, I had to spend a lot of money going to work to ride my bike. I mean, it's a terrible thing to have to take all your shit out of your bag and put in your backpack, change your clothes when you're all ready to go to work because of a goddamn equipment failure. So, should we check to see if this is on? Let me make sure I'm on okay. All right, rock and roll. So, got a new pump on order, secondhand. Thank you, Yellowfish program. It costs money, man. And I don't want to spend money. I need to get an extra chain. I got a chain tool. I've already got an extra derailleur. I think I'm pretty. The bike should be good. I got 2 extra tubes. And I shouldn't be getting a flat ever again. After I found a valve core removal for like about 50 cents. I found one. I think it's gonna work to tighten the valve core. I need to get, I'm carrying this broken plumber's wrench from my rear axle. I need to get the proper size wrench instead of this pain in the ass wrench I got. But I got extra spokes and nipples, 3 bike alarms, walkie-talkies, communication set, batteries are set. Don't have that much in camping utensils like forks and knives and shit, but pick those up later. A dollar store in America would be more expensive than China. We'll see. I gotta get the kids their clothes, man. On the plan of attack. Now, right now, I realize that there's some person, I guess Crystal, or is that your fiance, or who is this Crystal? Somebody listening right now with pure raw hate in their hearts, yet they're still listening to every word I say. After the last video, I received a Facebook message request saying, oh, this isn't Crystal. Right, okay. Whoever it is. Telling me that there was something called a letter of intent to deny already typed up and waiting for me to do my I-130. How scary is that? That means that this person is telling me they're powerful enough to actually get into the United States Customs Immigration Service, manipulate their workers to actually cause them to premeditate my wife's I-130 application for immigration, telling me that my wife is not going to be able to enter America, and laughing about that and threatening me and my children. How fucked up is that? Let me speak to you directly, as your behavior has shown. You listen so carefully. Listen to me, buddy, woman, girl, lady. Is that cute for you? You know how hard it is for my children right now to be getting ready to lose their mom? Do you have any idea the struggle and determination it takes to give up your job and your home and your wife, to take your children away from their mother, and to leave somebody who's dependent on you alone, who you've done everything for almost more than a decade to protect and to make safe? You think you want to tell me that we're getting ready, you know, we're getting ready to be homeless? The only materials we have is what I can carry into that country. And you are so full of hate. My young autistic children are just getting ready to show emotions which they've never shown, just getting attached to their mom, who's been more stable than ever. You think it's a joke when we're on the other end of the ocean and we're gonna find out that my wife will not be allowed to enter there? You think that's funny? When I'm getting ready to go to work and leave my kids in child care, I have to beg from the government until my wife can get there, how they lose their father and their mother and their life is destroyed to try to make this great leap, and you sit there and send me a message to threaten me and my kids that their mother's not going to be allowed in? And you are Crystal, a so-called third-generation American. What'd you say, Crystal? That now, since you're third generation, You're considered white. Wasn't that your own words, Crystal? So you got this anti-immigrant, you're so socialized and above better classes than where you came from. I don't know what kind of psychological problem you got. But for you to sit there and try to hurt my children and to hurt my wife and my family. I called the immigration department and I called the customs department. I'm contacting Facebook. I've sent them a copy of your message, of your threats. That, my friend, is illegal. And I know your little Duke University fiance or whatever is so powerful, and you're so powerful. If you're so powerful, leave me and my children alone, and my family alone. Go play with your powerful little friends. And I'll tell you what, I am a strong believer in karma. You keep living your life like you're living and threatening people like you threaten my children and my family and me. Something will come of that in your life. You watch, girl, or boy, or whatever you are. If your life was so important, and you're so important, what are you wasting your time? Harassing my children, and my family, and my wife. What are you watching my videos to know all the ins and outs about me and all those famous little details you like to quote? You need some therapy and you need some help, and you need to leave my family alone. You're sick. So sorry everybody to interrupt your programming on this wonderful bridge, but I'll get that straight. And let me tell you something, Crystal, or whatever your name is, the people at the consulate, they've been real friendly and real helpful to my family. They saved my oldest son's life, and they know me, and whatever you think you're doing to try to hurt me and my kids, I'm not some immigrant that can't speak English that you can push around. And I am above that. I have nothing to hide. And I don't care about anything but my kids and my wife. So if you don't like me and you don't like my kids, switch off your computer, turn the channel, and get the fuck out. You know what I mean? America's Patriotus. They use their name. You ain't a fucking patriot. You're the disease of America. You are disease of this fucking earth. You know that? Let's talk about America now. That's our lead into our next segment. We're in trash down there, it looks like. I like this bridge. So what do we know, everybody? we know that I'm teaching this book that they use in this camp, and they got it as it's called Spotlight, and it's made in Mexico, and it's for newly arrived citizens, children, I don't know what it is. It's like an EFL stateside curriculum. That's great. I'm happy to see them trying. Oh my God. My bike is grabbing all the ruts in the street. It's crazy. Almost makes me feel like I have a flat tire. All the ruts in the pavement, my rear tire is just like leading into them. Makes it feel squirrely. That's not a comfortable feeling. Like I said, it almost feels like having a flat tire every time it grabs a groove. So we're teaching this book that's above their level. But anyways, in this book, I got to teach the last 2 units. Ironically, one unit is about Ida Lewis, and the other unit is about 1849, the 49ers, the Transcontinental Railroad Act, and about the immigrants working on the railroad. I'm shit you not, that's just randomly in 18 years of teaching in China, 17 years, I don't know how long, man. I never had to teach that topic. The only time I have to teach that topic is when I'm getting ready to go back to America. What kind of crazy is that, huh? That's the topic in their school book that I have to teach. So, just another example how karma's in control. But it's so ironic. In teaching it, I had to prepare a lot of materials. And one of the materials I prepared was a DK eyewitness graphic novel about a girl and her dad, her uncle, taking a stagecoach. I mean, a covered wagon across the U.S. in 1849. And I have a video from YouTube, 10 minutes, from a girl's diary. Possibly the same what the DK book was based off of. And it was when I was preparing for this lesson that I got educated through self-research about the full extent of the China Exclusion Act for immigrants. My wife was with me at the time. We learned a lot. And about the Chinese workers on the railroads. I learned more this last week, couple weeks, preparing for the summer camp than I ever knew before about that topic. And right now, that subject is so close to our hearts. So it's funny how things work out like that. And it brings a lot of meaning to it. Now in this video of the people going from the east to the west, there's a lot of stuff there. Like, did you know everything west of the Mississippi was what they called Indian land? I'm not going to talk about how it feels uncomfortable to teach colonialists how bad they fucked up the Indians. And honestly, in all my idealistic youth, that was always my stance, was, because I've got some American Indian grandparents, that was always my stance, was how bad the Indians got fucked. But now, trying to immigrate, you know, those covered wagons, when they went, was it 20,000 or 40,000? I can't remember how many people went by covered wagon. They had a statistic there. They traveled 3 miles an hour across the country. I could go a little bit faster than that on my bike, pulling my kids. Not that faster. 10 to 12 kilometers an hour. Like I said, in my idealistic youth, I always took the sides of the Indian. And I still do. It's not right what happened, but in today's lessons, in the summer camps lessons, I'm seeing more through the eyes of a settler, or they called them immigrants before, in a way that I never did. Trying to come immigrate to the US myself, they don't really talk about this, but I thought the quotation, and I wish I had time to read the journals of the people that made that trip. I think they'd be a lot more educational than the shit I learned in school. But one of the girls' journals, 14 I think, she was talking about how, well, it wasn't just her, it was during that documentary, all those people rolling across the Mississippi, it's going west to California, past Independence Rock. You know, it was a great quotation on the video. The video's on my Facebook. They're like, yeah, all over the world, every nationality, all the people from the lowest workers, those workers who were so poor and they lost everything, and maybe they came to America, to the 13 states and colonies first, and the eastern development part of America. It was still hard. It was tough to make it. So they sold everything they could, and they got a covered wagon. They put everything in their house, and this is people that were going through their crisis on the eastern part of America, what America was. Even that new place was too tough. People leaving their homes like they're trying in South America. How I'm trying to get into the country. They lost everything. All I had, that covered wagon. So many of them. They tried to go to America across the country. A lot of people died. But these were people from all over, looking for a fresh start and a new chance to escape the hardships of the eastern part of America and the other countries. A new land, a new opportunity. And to hear that, and of course, me paraphrasing to so little, it's better to hear the girl's journal and the reenactment and the documentary. But all those people referred to as immigrants, they're no different than all the families from all over the world trying to get in the US right now. How ironic. The borders are so closed. And I just think that history is repeating itself on a large scale. This didn't just happen in America when people were trying to leave America to go to west, to the new country, to the new land, to go kill the Indians and take their land. This is happening all over the world today. In Europe, boats of immigrants being denied port. Everybody's trying to leave to make a fresh start where they have an opportunity to live. No different than those people in the covered wagons did. Just a different time period. Well, you know what the difference is now? All the land is taken. And these people have nowhere to go. Right? They've got nowhere to go now. So what the hell is going to happen to all these people? And we've always been nomads on this earth for the last 100,000 years. It's not like we've lived in countries like we have since the last ice age. We're trying to readapt our humanity in a much longer tradition than any country on the face of our earth is long since it was created. We're trying to adapt human nature into something that it's not and something it's never been. And we're finding having the unique opportunity and technology to travel to vast areas allows us the same technology to try to beat the nomads out of us. You know, we were told that bread was developed in the Mesopotamia region when Hannibal developed the first laws of the land. I think it's big news. A couple weeks ago they said that bread was discovered from 14,000 years ago. That puts it into the last ice age. Made from wild wheat, they said. Well, I think we have no idea about the past civilizations that have came and our current way of life. If it cannot learn from the wisdom of that lost knowledge of past civilizations, you have to wonder how long we're going to make it like this, right? You know, going back with my boys, leaving my wife, going back for Elon Musk. Actually, I'm going back for my wife to get her nationality, to have the same nationality as her kids and me, and Elon Musk. Not a gold rush, a Musk rush. Now, we are seeing those hardships, and we're about to see more hardships. Just like we've seen since the beginning of time, I guess. It's in our nature and our humanity to migrate, to keep moving. I mean, we're the best evolved long distance runners from any species on our planet. It is in our genealogy to move. Coca-Cola, obesity is a newfound ailment. So I have in my hope that, I know this sounds goofy, but I hope that Elon Musk creates an opportunity for people once again to migrate, to immigrate to Mars. And you know what? There's a lot of people that hate Elon Musk. Just like a lot of people that hate me. My wife always says me and him are a lot alike. Look at the mainstream media, and a majority of the people always attacking Elon. The status quo always attacks something that's different. I wonder if that's a sociological, genealogical trait to keep things normalized for human evolution. I don't know, man. I question how much evolutionary habit dictates human groupthink psychology, you know what I mean? But I don't hate Elon. I hope he doesn't implode before he gets our ass to Mars. You know, I can't wait. And I'll be in that next covered wagon going to Mars. As long as my kids and my wife are safe, we'll all go, Elon. You know, my wife lost one of the lights that Artie sent me. I don't know if my wife did or how it got lost. Before I talk about lights, let me close out that story. So anyways, guys, I'm planning on getting my ass to America any way I can with my kids. You want to donate to Pantheon, or what's that called? Fucking that donation thing. I forgot what it's called. Something like Pantheon, right? Or something. It's a big help. Gotta raise money. Woo! Even though I'm lower the amount required to file a tax return, I'm still gonna file the tax returns. I think to try to get, I guess they got money for kids and the tax credit thing. I have a hard time understanding how that works. I'm trying to figure it out right now. I'll be riding every day. And I eat 6 eggs a day, drink a couple bottles of tea, a bunch of water. I have popcorn every day. My popcorn machine broke, so I was able to find on the Yellow Fish program a glass bowl that you put in the microwave that can pop popcorn in. Woo! That's awesome. Don't have to waste money on a machine. And I'm eating salad, and occasionally I have some little bit of meat. I'll be hitting 140 soon. I promise you that. When I hit 140, I'll start doing push-ups and sit-ups and shit. I just want to lose some weight before I try to get all crazy I know what I'm gonna do tomorrow with the boys. I should be taking them out to practice camping. We haven't set the tent up once since we bought it. One day off is not a lot, you know. I wish we could ride somewhere and go camp tonight. We tried it that other night at the river, we just couldn't find a safe spot. Maybe tomorrow we'll go by Crackhead Park. They got some grass there. Or maybe ride to Dafushan, I don't know. Set up the tent, but I want to spend some time with the boys and my wife. Not stressed out. I know it's important to practice and rehearse for America. I know that's important, but I want to have some time with my kids and my wife before that's fucked up. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do tomorrow. You know, yesterday I didn't go to the hospital, what I normally go to get her other meds. I went to the hospital by her house to get her lithium. You know, it's not very far. And we walked. We didn't take the bikes. We walked from the hospital to the metro. You know, it was only about 2 or 3 kilometers, I guess. And nah, it's not that far. Maybe 1.5 kilometers. And just having that time with the boys after being so busy. I mean, every second I'm busy trying to find things to buy and get ready and prepared. You know, just walking outside on a day like this with your kids and your wife, hugging them. That's what real power means, Crystal. That's what rich is. Money and everything what you care about is just something you got to do. That's not where power comes from, man. Power comes from being with people you love, man. Sorry that you never figured that out. But I'm not sure what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I thought about putting our gear together tonight and riding up to Lotus Mountain. We gotta pay to go in there, and it would be such a rush. To go there in a hurry and to come back. It's not really relaxing, you know what I mean? It'd be hard on all the kids and my wife. She needs a break. She's been working with the kids really hard. Well, I've been out doing everything. Alright, I want to tell you. You guys remember the Decadrive, the design Decadrive light? I had 2 of them, I think, right? I think 2 or 3. I think 2 of them. The one where you could change the lights. Oh, I love that light. With the removal, and they stopped selling them because they changed over to a newer model that's got the sealed light because all the restrictions they had on shipping lithium batteries. And the newer model, it doesn't have that high of a blink rate. I think the old model is real good. So I lucked out on the yellow fish program. I was looking for pumps, and I saw a guy selling them brand new. And this, they don't make them anymore. You had a brand new one in a box and open for 380 yen. And I only have one light, and I can't be uncertain how the abilities I'm going to have to charge things in Nevada. So I thought it'd be good to have a backup of everything. I got the light, man. And the thing is, I've got 2 batteries somewhere in my home, and my wife did not throw them away, which I kept them purposely because I was really always trying to find another light like that. That was such a great light. The only reason why the problem I had was a mount on it. The mounting bracket sucks. The mounting bracket sucks, but the light is awesome. Sometimes it fell out of the bracket, breaks the door. You gotta push it in there real good, you know. But I bought the light because if my wife could find my other 2 batteries, that means I got 3 batteries if she could find them. I hope she can, man. I was looking last night. That'd be like having, I could charge up all 3 batteries, man. I hope I could get it, man. I got the light. I hope I could get the batteries, because you can't find those batteries. I could probably have them made from 2 cells. Go down to the laptop battery people, have them make me a couple extra battery packs. You know, I'm going to go to this transitional housing. Like, Neil, I know you're out there worried. Nah, man, I'm going to get a job, man. Camping's a backup. But if shit hits a fan, I hear a lot of people preparing for SHTF moments. That's really crazy. I guess that's common. It's kind of ironic. I see this modern day movement in America for, they call them preppers, and it's like they're saying real shit hits the fan moments. Well, I don't know, man. I saw the Hoovervilles. I saw the Hoovervilles, and I see the homeless people. I don't know what Americans say more, homeless people or immigrants. And I'll tell you something scary, guys. There is no more media. Man, the media is stupid, man. Did you guys think the war in Syria just stopped? Remember how heated and how multiple times we were close to World War III with Russia's base there and America's base there? And then all of a sudden, there's no more media coverage of war at all, man. There's no coverage of war in Afghanistan. In fact, can you name any events happening outside of your country that are not about the trade war? It's like if you watch the mainstream media and no matter which flavor you choose, it's like no matter which kind of cola you drink, you're gonna get fat. Then you don't know anything about anybody, man. All they do is cover President Trump, immigrants, Russian hackers, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, they're not covering the huge amounts of unemployment in the world or localizing production because of increased production efficiency in our third industrial revolution. We're not seeing anything, you know? It's like, what the fuck? So, that's a topic we could do a whole show about, I think. God damn it. Fucking traffic, man. Normally it's like this on the bridge, though. Today it's actually not that bad. Normally it's like this the whole way up to the bridge. So I don't always put on my blog there because I don't know why I do it at a different time. But yeah, I mean, like, you should be next time. Tell you what, I hope I don't have to take the subway. But if I do have to take the subway, I'm gonna bring for you a camera. Do you know why? Because like the traffic to the I mean the people waiting to go in the subway to get on the subway, because the cost of housing is so expensive in the city and everybody moved outside here to where I'm at, like I moved out. The line goes back by the 7-Eleven where I got Slurpees with the boys. Way outside the subway. Oh, you're gonna hit me, man. Way outside the subway. And you gotta wait like, I mean, the subways are backed up with people in the morning. And in China, there's a huge change. And this change is happening all over the world, and that's why there's people unemployed. This is why talking about when the shit hits the fan moments is starting to become a mainstream discussion. It's because you don't gotta be a weatherman to see which way the wind is blowing, and even if mainstream media is not talking about it, changes in the air, you know? So for that reason, to make a long story short, it'd be cool to have the extra batteries for my flashlight on my bike. That's like a long ass story for my bike light. Keep multiple batteries charged. Only downside is I don't have a charger. I have to use the body. Well, let's hope I can find them batteries. Friday night, all the boys are home right now, missing me. I miss him, I miss my wife. I'm working all day, I'm worried, you know. You know, it's one thing to, it's all right, I made money for the day. I could pay my bills are paid. I can get food, I could spend time, but no. Now I gotta find a way to magically jump across the ocean with my children as a single man, like da-da-da, like have magic superpowers. Challenges. You know, listen to that song. I was doing sometimes I play music on YouTube when I'm teaching the camp. 80s. They did that song. How can we dance in the world where the beds are burning? We didn't start the fire. It's always burning since the world's been turning. Listen to that song, man. It's like how appropriate the lyrics of that song are, man. How forgotten and inappropriate. All right, guys. It's deep thoughts, huh? I see my camera's still on. Let's see here. So on, almost gone. Probably got a minute. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your Patreon donations, if you have it, that's a word. Look at Crystal, if that's who you are, whoever you are. I'm running out of minutes. Look, I teach kids, I teach people. I spend a lot of time. I make a lot of money trying to help my wife and help my kids, and I don't know what you think about me. I don't know what your hatred comes for, or whatever you're doing, man. Please leave my children and my wife alone. Okay, you're wrong. I don't abuse my kids and I don't abuse my wife, and you're abusing them. You're terrorizing me. You're the terrorist of my family. Please leave my family alone. Thank you for watching. See you guys later. Bye-bye.